Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture Unboxing. It's been a while, but we're back to unbox more pop culture news just for you. Today, you get to hear us blathering on about some time warp, and then a bit of speculation about the hit film Rise of Skywalker, which is out today. After that, we dive into some discussion on the new Ryan Reynolds movie Free Guy, as well as Ghostbusters Afterlife. And once again, welcome back, and we promise we're back for good now. You know, after coming out of that time warp, a lot has happened in the last couple months.
Yeah.
We just finished getting caught up.
Oh, man. I didn't even know we were in a time warp. It's been so crazy. What happened?
was
Did
wild.
I get frozen in carbonite? Did I pull Han Solo?
No, we just...
Did you save me?
No, we finished cutting the last episode. As soon as it uploaded, we just showed up here. My phone tells me it's
I'm going to believe that
December 9th.
I'm going to believe that you walked around in like the slave Leia costume and saved me with a green lightsaber. That's what I'm going to believe. Ugh. Ew.
Yeah.
What is that from Star Wars?
No.
I'm going to say that doesn't sound... That's from like...
I don't like this
Silence
game.
of the
I don't,
Lambs.
I don't like this game anymore.
Oh, okay. Man, I've got a bunch of stuff to talk about.
I know, and
It's been a long time.
yeah,
Hi,
it's been
fans.
a while for everybody because
Hi.
oh my god, I'm loud.
Hi, those 12 listeners.
Yeah.
Hi. What you said was 12 listeners or 11 listeners?
I mean, 54 people listened to the last episode featuring my father.
Oh,
And that was
wow.
a good one.
Your father's a big hit. We should
Yeah,
bring him on
Yeah.
more often. Does he know we're recording again?
I don't think so. I don't
You
think
should
anybody
just
does.
see if he's a subscriber. See if he just gets a big surprise
He
tomorrow
might.
morning. That would be hilarious.
I'm not telling anybody. They're just gonna see it
just
up
be
here on
like,
their feed.
wow, they're back.
Yeah.
Strike back. Bill and
Not
Ted's.
that we were gone because we were in a time warp.
Yeah,
Remember
we
that
weren't
part.
doing anything.
No.
Nothing different. I have not gotten a girlfriend in this time, and my
I'm
life
sorry.
has not built up and gone completely up
Mine
where it
hasn't
was.
either.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Do you want me to go over what we're talking about today? Do you want to read this list, or
You're the one who wrote it.
Okay, well, that's fun. So, a bunch of the stuff we got to talk about. I didn't realize this.
Ryan, I just realized we didn't do an intro, like an official one. Screw it. I'll fix it in post.
Okay, well, welcome. Here, do you want me to do it right now? I'll do it now.
Sure.
I feel like we've lost our groove to this
We
whole
have.
thing. Anyway, this show is called Pop Culture Unboxing. That's what we still call it, right?
Yeah.
All right, we didn't forget it. This is I'm Ryan, and this
I'm Matt. I'm Matt.
that's
I'm
Matt. If you are new, you missed a lot. We were good at this at one point,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm like the writer, and Matt's the funny man of the show. Correct? Is that how you would describe it?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Ryan, it just occurred to me.
What?
How long would you say we've been podcasting?
Year
No, like total,
total,
including that last crappy one we did.
Since we've been doing that, probably about an hour, or not
An hour?
I mean, probably like 10 minutes, 9
Yeah,
minutes.
probably what, 2.5 years? 2.5 years?
What?
Has it been that long?
What are you talking about? I
Since
thought
we
you
started podcasting.
I thought you meant since we started this
Not
episode.
this episode, idiot. Since we started podcasting.
Oh,
Since we sat in the car on the way to Chicago and said, hey, let's start a podcast.
that's a really funny story too. We should tell that.
Did we
someday.
never tell it?
I don't know if we ever did. We
Well,
probably did for red
we'll-
red steak sauce.
We'll
but,
probably tell it at some point.
okay.
But
yeah, it's probably been 2 years.
two going on 3 years.
What did we do?
Maybe.
We went there
And
to go
we're now
see.
on episode maybe 25 total.
I thought you
between
said this
both
is
of-
episode 7.
This is episode 8 we're recording plus
Okay, so this
two or
is-
3 special editions of this show. And then we did what, 14 episodes of red steak sauce?
Oh wow, we finally did it. We did 25. It only
We're-
took
is it
2
20
years.
Yeah, yeah.
to get to 25.
This is how
episodes.
bad we are at podcasting.
It's not our fault. Life is hard.
Is it?
It is. I mean, I'm pretty miserable all the time. What about you?
No, I make do.
Oh.
You guys
Anyway.
use my depression tower over there.
Yeah. What is that all the
It's all the stuff that fell off the walls.
Holy crap. Did you hear what happened to my voice?
No.
Oh,
I'll
it
hear-
sounded
I'll
like
hear
in my
later.
voice that it got like a bubble in the back. You ever get like a bubble in the
I know
back of your
exactly what
throat?
you're talking about.
Excuse
Anyway.
me, everybody.
So
So
what are we going to tell the people about today, Ryan?
we're going to tell them, apparently there's a GTA movie, unofficial GTA movie,
Yeah.
and guess who's making it?
Taika Waititi.
Disney.
Oh, really?
Disney, yeah,
That's right. It's in the beginning of the trailer.
Yeah, they made fun of how they've released Aladdin, Lion King, and The Jungle Book twice.
No, it was Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, well,
But
still,
yeah,
they
we
made-
released from the studio that brought you these 3 movies twice.
So yeah, we've got a new GTA movie coming out.
Yeah.
Starring Ryan Reynolds and
Taika Waititi.
yeah, he's in it too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who the girl was in the trailer.
I don't either.
I didn't really look. Also on the docket today is Ghostbusters is not getting a reboot, but
Ghostbusters, Paul Rudd.
yeah, is this is like a
This is a sequel to Ghostbusters that I think ignores Ghostbusters 2 and the new Ghostbusters movie.
do you think so?
Based on his line about, like, what does he say? There haven't been ghosts in New York in 30 years.
Oh, that's true. Well, maybe
New
it takes-
Ghostbusters. Does that not take place in New York?
Is it called Ghostbusters 3? I thought it was.
This one?
I think this is
No.
just a sequel to Ghostbusters 2, but we'll get to it.
They've done everything they can to erase Ghostbusters.
Wonder Woman 1984 looks great. I'm
yeah, I agree.
sorry, but if anyone does not like DC films, this one looks
I
great.
agree. The
I
music
love
in that rips.
I love
It
the
rips.
original, and I think the sequel's gonna be good. And then last on the docket, Rise of Skywalker has literally too many freaking trailers.
Yeah,
they
it's
just
got a lot of trailers.
only like 3 weeks ago. So I think let's start with that one because I feel like starting with that one because we're already here. The whole Rise of Skywalker, because I remember there was the trailer, there was the first trailer.
Oh, and also
Which-
Joe Keery is in Free Guy. And if you don't know, he's the guy from Stranger Things that looks like the love child of Ben Schwartz and Andrew Garfield.
Never seen Stranger Things. So.
Tell me this guy doesn't look like Ben Schwartz and Andrew Garfield had a kid.
I've seen that dude's face before. He
Yeah.
does kind of look like it, doesn't he?
Yeah, apparently Jodie Comer. That's the girl.
Jodie Comer?
Comer.
Comer?
Comer.
Huh.
Looks like she's just been TV.
Oh, interesting. All right, I'm going to go back to Star Wars because I need to get this out of my system.
Yeah,
So
do it.
I'm really
You asked the
mad.
question. I just wanted to answer it. Okay.
So,
Okay.
excuse me, Star Wars, probably only like 4 weeks ago, had released its final trailer. So first they released the first trailer, which I don't know how you felt, but it didn't really excite me all that much.
Did that one have all the spaceships in it?
No,
Then
I don't think so.
I don't think I cared that much about it.
The second one comes
That's
out, which they even state it is the final trailer. So what I like about those two trailers is they don't give me anything. I know the Emperor's coming back, but I don't know how. I don't know what's going down. I don't know what the thing is. I only know what I know from like side lore stories that have been coming out in comic books and stuff like that. But they stated that was the final trailer, and that was the one that got me hyped because you got C-3PO saying like, "I'd take one last look, sir, at my friends," and then you get that real pumped up like they're riding like space horses on top of a Star Destroyer,
Yeah.
while Sith troopers are just coming out of nowhere and shooting them. Like I'm so
And
pumped.
a B-wing is flying around.
Also, still don't understand how they could just walk on the side of spaceships because I thought you couldn't breathe in space.
I don't think
'Cause
they're
remember-
in space.
It looks like they are. So that's why I'm just like, if it's during the space battle, which you can see spaceships flying around them, I was under the impression that it was like Leia. When she went out into the dark sections of space, she froze and died technically. But now that doesn't work. It's just like bombs falling out of bombers. It's,
I don't wanna talk about
It's
this
a whole
anymore.
argument that I don't understand.
No, I mean, does the movie make sense if it takes place anywhere but the Forest Moon of Endor?
No.
That's the thing. And
Yeah, so like, I being Star Wars, I just shut my brain off and enjoy the
What if it takes place
beautiful lights.
on Endor?
It doesn't. Wait, I think it
Endor
actually does.
itself, not the moon,
Oh, like the actual.
like the gas giant. What if that's where all this ice and stuff is?
Oh, that would make sense. And the Death Star
'Cause Endor's
pieces,
blue, isn't it?
and the Death Star pieces would be.
They would have
on-
fallen to Endor, not the moon of Endor.
Yeah, and that forest place that she's training at. See, we're already like.
I know that one shot of the I don't know if it's the Tantive 4, but it's another one of the those Corellian blockade runners flying over the woods. That could have been Endor.
Well, I'm thinking that would have been the Forest Moon. Yeah,
Because I think
that's where they were training.
So that's one. Is that the Tantive 4?
I
Could it
don't
be?
remember. I don't.
Because the last we saw the Tantive 4, it was in the cargo bay of a Star Destroyer.
I haven't watched Yeah, so I haven't watched the trailer in a while, so I have to go back and watch it. I don't remember.
Yeah. The colors aren't right anyway. It's like
Yeah.
blue instead of red now.
Yeah, I don't remember. But what I'm trying to get to the point here is they got to the final trailer and nothing, like, it didn't tell me a lot. I mean, I guess to people it did tell them a lot, but for me it didn't. Then some Jagoff decided that I'm going to post spoiler photos on Reddit in the middle of Star Wars Battlefront and just be like, here you go. And it happened to be, I saw them, so now I know a lot more about this movie than I wanted to.
Ryan.
How did Disney respond? They just decided to continuously release what I honestly feels like 15 different TV spots, all showing more scenes that now make everything that I saw, the leak stuff I saw, make more sense. So now I think I pretty much know how this movie goes without even seeing it. And I can't help but be like, Disney, people are already hyped. Like, there are people, hates this new Star Wars, the sequel trilogy, but you're going to get people to still come. The last time I checked, before you released all these TV spots, every theater was almost sold out tickets. So what it seems like,
it's Star Wars. It can't not make money.
That's what I mean. So, like, the fact that people are either hate it, that's what makes them sit in it more, because they want to continuously complain about Star Wars or see if you actually screwed up as much as in their heads you did.
Yeah.
Or people like me who are kind of all right with it, who are all right with the sequel trilogy and are just like, yeah, I'm interested to see how this ends. Sure. But they released so much stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I haven't
why?
watched any of it, and I'm glad.
So, eventually when you know what's going on, you're just like, well, cool, now I just want to see the scene. So that's what I'm doing. As I'm just watching the TV spots because I'm like,
well,
yeah,
that's the thing is,
makes sense.
At this point, when you saw that leak, you had to have known that it was real, because why would you doubt it? What was it? Last Jedi leaks were real.
Yeah.
Endgame leaks were real. Game of Thrones leaks were real. Like,
yeah.
Whoever's leaking all this stuff has not been wrong.
I completely forgot, not to like take a side, but since we're talking about Star Wars, who just lost the ability to have Star Wars? You mentioned Game of Thrones, and it just like popped in my head.
D&D. David Benioff and D.B. Weiss.
Yeah, the guys that screwed up the last season of Game of Thrones.
Because
apparently
to go work on Star Wars.
Yeah, you're right. Well, they said to go work on Star Wars, and they're like, nah, we're going to turn down Star Wars to go work on Netflix projects. And then Netflix cut them. So now they just lost everything.
Because when I think I pointed this out to you recently, is that if you Google bad writers, they're the first hit.
I wonder if that's still the same. It was when
It's been like that since season 8 came out.
Bad writers. Whoops. I'm a bad writer. I can't even spell. Yep, they still pop up.
Yep, the first handful of things are about them.
That's ridiculous. But
that's what you get when you piss off such a dedicated fan base.
Yeah, I don't know how. This is like another example of why. Don't make what people want. Them. Well, yeah. If I was to ever become a director or a writer on any like popular TV show, I would be terrified every day I wrote a sentence, because no matter what, it's like Star Wars. No matter what J.J. Abrams or Ryan Johnson did, well, Ryan Johnson, never mind. Whatever J.J. Abrams does in the Rise of Skywalker, he will never make anyone happy. So I'm pretty sure J.J. Abrams knows. He's like, I made a Star Wars movie that people are going to hate, so why? Like, what? Yeah. I don't see why you would try, but it seems like he's doing it.
And he and Kathleen Kennedy both claim that it ties up not only the sequel trilogy, but all three trilogies.
Yeah, okay.
Which it's gonna have to do, but something miraculous, honestly.
But here's the thing: like, the only way they can do that, and the only way I think, like, a Star Wars fan can truly be pleased, like, I'm happy with how the trilogy's gone so far, all of them. I'm happy now, but it did, as we learned with the prequel trilogy, everyone hated the prequel trilogy, and we needed the Clone Wars to make it better, make the prequel trilogy better. But everything that's leading up to this event in Rise of Skywalker is all told in comics and stories and all these different books. So if you want to truly be pleased with these films, you better sit down and read like 30 different Vader comics, read the newest Kylo Ren comics, so you can just learn something that'll make you feel a little bit better to why Kylo Ren is like the way he is. Like, I know more, so I know like because I am addicted to Star Wars, and this is what I do.
No, that's the thing. If a movie can't give you its full story without you having to read supplementary materials, it's not a good movie.
Exactly. So that's what the comics were supposed to do. Like what the Clone Wars did. The Clone Wars was like the prequel trilogy was actually pretty okay. It was okay. It was smart. I saw what he was trying to tell. He just didn't. It was good and it made sense on paper, but in practice, he had trouble. Like Lucas had
the thing that the prequel trilogy had going for it is it was building to something. We knew what it was building toward.
Yeah,
and even the original trilogy, there was a goal: defeat the Empire. This movie, it's like, oh, it's just not a rebellion with a different name fighting the Empire with a different name.
Yeah, which now somehow the Empire looks like they're coming back.
But that's the only. That's the thing. That's the only way you can close off all through this trilogy of trilogies satisfyingly is that it was Palpatine the whole time. Is that all of this was part of his plan? That's the only way you can do it.
Which I can say it seems like it. So like if you played Battlefront 2, a story that made sense. There's comic books and books about that are canon to the story that are just like, what? Okay, it's very clear. Yeah, Palpatine is what they said. Like, it's clear what they're trying to do.
He's the big bad guy.
And the story is dumb. Like, they just confirmed in a comic book about Anakin Skywalker. You know how he was like a virgin birth?
Yeah.
That was Palpatine.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So like Palpatine, this is after Disney stuff. There is a comic where Vader is trying to, he's just trying to figure out a way to bring Padme back to life, and you see that in the VR game, Vader Immortal, but in the comic he goes and walks around and he gets to see kind of his past, and in that past you actually see like his mother Shmi, and then you see Palpatine underneath, and under it says Chosen One. You see like forming in her belly. So they imply that.
I wish we had cameras so you could see my face there.
Yeah, they imply that Palpatine which, granted, okay, that's fine.
Sure.
With Plagueis, all right, Plagueis could do things. Palpatine wasn't lying. He actually can affect the midichlorians and create life like his master Plagueis could. But still kind of stupid. Like,
yeah,
you had this like, what made like Qui-Gon Jinn, what made him a really great character is he was not like the current Jedi Order. He was great because he studied the old ways, like the prophecies and all that. He was more attached to that than the way the Republic was going.
Yeah.
And so they basically were just like, that Chosen One story is stupid. And that's why Rey is a Mary Sue, and and that boy at the end of The Last Jedi could pull something to him without any training, is because they were like, nah, for Chosen One and people being powerful for the Force, it can be anyone. Like anyone.
That was
so. That's what it makes sense, because Disney's trying to make everyone that goes sees the film feel like I could be a Jedi, like Spider-Man does when you go see Spider-Man. He's a normal kid underneath the mask.
Yeah.
I could be him. That's exactly what they're doing. And it makes me angry.
And another thing that doesn't help the sequel trilogy is that it hasn't had one vision all the way through. In Star Wars, in the original trilogy, it was Lucas's vision throughout, despite who the different directors were. And then in the prequels, he directed them all. Obviously, it was his vision all the way through. In this one, it jumped from J.J. Abrams to Rian Johnson back to J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
And it seems like they have no idea what they're doing, because Last Jedi ended the same way it began.
I mean,
except with a couple more, one or two more people dead.
And reading like the side material is what's reminding me that like Disney is not. I don't think Disney understands Star Wars or understands lightsabers or anything. Just like I told you the story about the toys, the Baby Yoda toys. How I said that was coming back.
You should probably mention that.
So Baby Yoda toys are coming, but and you can't help but wonder, like, all right, the Mandalorian figures, they're all out. Like Mandalorian stuff's out. I have some of them. Why did Baby Yoda take this long? Well, it turns out apparently, and this is, I can't confirm this because it's not like someone told me from Disney directly, but I've heard it from countless different sources and other people saying it, word of mouth, that it appears that Disney didn't know Baby Yoda was going to be this big. And I don't get how.
Which blows my mind, because, and again, we were talking about this earlier, Star Wars created merchandising rights.
Yes.
Like Star Wars, toys have always been the driving force behind the wealth behind Star Wars.
And
how do you miss this?
I'm trying to look back and think of like another cute character that the Porgs. Oh my God, the Porgs.
They made it on purpose.
The Porgs were made exactly.
Well, kind of.
The Porgs were made like they weren't on purpose. It was a little bit of some other screwy.
If you don't know, it's because they couldn't keep the puffins away from the island while they were filming.
Yeah, and the Porgs so they're like, all right, what do we do with them? Let's make merchandise, and they made so many Porg toys. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many Porgs I saw around when Last Jedi came out. So how Baby Yoda, which arguably might be more cuter or a lot cuter in my opinion, how they didn't think like. If you would have showed me a picture of that, like before I even saw The Mandalorian, I'd be like, how do I buy it? Because I wanted to buy one.
But I think that's what helped Baby Yoda a lot was that no one saw it coming.
Yeah.
There was nothing. And then, boom, first episode comes out and ends, there's Baby Yoda. Now it's everywhere. But I think that helped a lot.
Yeah, but that actually says a lot. And that's why I think The Mandalorian like is a sign that things are going to go up for Star Wars now.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
Because it's hard like for Disney to keep things secret as we've seen. How did they keep Mandalorian so secret?
If you want my opinion, it's that people throughout Disney just didn't care. They just thought it was going to be
bad.
They were just apathetic about it. There wasn't a whole lot of buzz around it other than around Star Wars fans. But it had Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and Kevin Feige was interested in it. Like when you have those three people sitting there looking at something, being interested in it, and working on it, you'll have great things.
That is a powerhouse.
And now what we need is even for Star Wars movies is we need Dave Filoni to be the Kevin Feige, which I think he's getting to that point. Dave
Filoni, he also created the Clone Wars, right?
Yes.
And the Rebels.
Yes.
So
and Resistance.
Two things I love.
and he was basically George Lucas's apprentice. Like George Lucas spent years teaching him what it means for something to be Star Wars. Other than George Lucas, he has the best understanding of
what this universe is.
Because people in Disney can come to him and say, "Does this feel like Star Wars?" And he can tell them yes or no, and he can go with Lucas's vision on it. Because say what you want about George Lucas, he is an incredible world builder. He knows how to build a world.
That is true. Yeah.
Do you want a Dave Filoni fun fact in the middle of this? He is from Mount Lebanon.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Which is a neighborhood here near Pittsburgh where we live and record out of. Yeah, he was on there.
Man, dreams can come true. There's a chance for us, man.
Actually, one of my coworkers went to school with him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It is a small world, isn't it? And you can see him on set, pictures of him wearing a Penn's hat. That's how I knew to look for it.
Yeah. Oh my.
Speaking of which, dude, Tristan Jarry, my boy. I know we're not a sports podcast, but man, your backup goaltender comes in there. The only reason he's up in the NHL is because they couldn't keep the salary cap of Casey DeSmith on, so they sent him down to the AHL because they knew they couldn't send Jarry down because he couldn't clear waivers. And then Jarry comes up here. Matt Murray's all sad and crying because he's hurt or something. And then Jarry comes in with back-to-back shutouts, one of them against the top team in the league, the former Stanley Cup champions, the St. Louis Blues. And it's just, oh my God. I love him. I hope Murray gets picked up in the expansion draft when Seattle becomes a team, and that we pull DeSmith up, run Jarry as our starter, DeSmith as our secondary. Sorry, I just really wanted to talk about that.
So that's what it feels like when I talk about anime to you.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes so much sense. I don't know I don't even know where to go from here.
Well, we talked about Star Wars.
Yeah.
But did we really talk about we kind of just give our little thoughts on Free Guy and.
Well, I figured we'd move to Free Guy now or something like that. But you said all that stuff, and I was trying to think of a clever transition, and then you kept going. So I was like, I don't know how to stop this.
Yeah.
So Free Guy.
I'm going to be really embarrassed if I got that wrong. It was either the St. Louis Blues or Tampa Bay Lightning.
Are you going to check?
Yeah, I do.
All right, well, I'm going to transfer us over to Free Guy, a new movie starring Ryan Reynolds, which as people are calling the GTA movie that we didn't know we wanted.
It was the Blues. Okay.
It was the Blues? All right, good. Speaking of blues, that's the shirt he seems to wear because his car in the trailer is blue. Everything, like his pens are blue.
What are the odds that Blue by Eiffel 65 plays?
It's going to happen.
I agree.
I am that or like a crappier version of that song, Everything is Awesome.
Ugh.
Or this song's going to get stuck inside your
he is basically Emmett from Lego Movie.
But he is. He even gets out of bed with explosions outside his window and just smiles away.
Yeah.
But I do like how because it looks like what an NPC the life. Basically, what this movie looks like, it's about the daily life of an NPC in GTA.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously, yeah.
It's not GTA though. Like it's not that. It's just it's a world like that where the players are blowing each other up and blowing the place up and killing innocent people that are not innocent. They're the pedestrians
playing a game.
Yeah, so it's just people playing a game, but it looks like one of the NPCs who's a banker. Is that what he's a banker, right?
It looks like he's a bank teller, yeah.
Yeah, so he's a bank teller, and
this is Ryan Reynolds, by the way.
Yeah, it is Ryan Reynolds, and he kills one of the players and picks up their glasses and then somehow becomes a player. So I'm very curious how that's going to play out.
Yeah.
But as the movie at first looks good, but the more I've sat here and thought about it, I feel like it's going to be generic.
I think you landed on the same thing I thought of as I was watching the trailer, is that it looks like whoever made this movie based off GTA in the way that a grandmother listens to her grandson talk about it as the game he wants. And when he describes it to her as the game to buy him, this is what she thinks it is.
Yeah, that's a good way to
There's just too much going. Like the one thing that took me out of it a little bit was all the fancy effects when people spawn in.
Mm-hmm.
Like in GTA 5, that's not how it works. If it was Destiny, sure, you have those effects, but
even then, like I think that's the point. Is it's just to make fun, like it's satire on violent video games. Because how much do you want to bet? In fact, no, I'm not even worried about it. I'm gonna already say it. I'm gonna bet $60, $100. I'm going to bet $100 that this movie makes makes some kind of joke about violence in video games, or makes a little like a nod at violence in video games and how it causes.
I'm not going to take that back
because
I'm guarantee you're right.
Like I know it's going to happen,
and it's going to suck. I mean,
that's what the point. It looks like it's a point of like NPCs are sick of being murdered by violent people, and
wasn't that kind of the plot of Gamer?
Yeah, I didn't see Gamer. Oh wait, yes, I did. You're right. Yeah, it's the virtual reality. Yeah,
where he kind of takes control. They're having if you didn't watch it, it's all right.
They're people in prison, right?
Yeah, they're life prisoners, and they have a chance to participate in this game where people take control of them through VR and play a shooting game where you actually die.
Where you become
and if you survive at the end of it, you go free.
Yeah,
and it's
very forgettable.
Michael C. Hall is the guy running it, which it's kind of takes you out of it if you've seen Dexter.
Yeah, I've never seen Dexter. Is that who it is? Mm-hmm. The guy that plays Dexter is.
He's the villain in.
Or no, I did. I've watched 2 episodes of Dexter and I got bored.
Yeah,
I got real bored with it.
Most of us felt the same after watching the whole thing.
I did start trying to watch Breaking Bad again, and
Breaking Bad's really good.
I'm starting to enjoy it now, so everything's okay. I made it past the first season, and it's getting.
Oh yeah,
I'm real in. I'm in there now.
You ever seen those videos with Snowball rolling down a hill and gaining speed and momentum?
Yeah.
Breaking Bad does that until it smashes into the ski lodge at the finale. Like it does, nothing slows that thing down.
The reason I want to watch it is I want to watch the movie that came out.
I still haven't watched it.
I want to see it.
I need to watch it. Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So basically, you and I seem to agree on Free Guy is not looking like it's. It looks like it's all like it's not going to be as good as it appears.
It's a cool idea.
I mean, but it could work. It could work in practice. It's just.
And Ryan Reynolds has done well so far.
And look, I don't know if anyone else agrees, but Ryan Reynolds so far, I think he accidentally typecasted himself, because so far, like I've seen Ryan Reynolds play Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. Like Deadpool just seems like Ryan Reynolds. Pikachu, when he was in Detective Pikachu, just felt like Ryan Reynolds being the voice for Pikachu.
Yeah.
This movie just looks like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Playing Ryan Reynolds. There was a movie he started. I can't remember. I'm having a little bit of trouble trying to remember what it was, but it was a clever story where it was Ryan Reynolds. He wasn't Ryan Reynolds. He was a perfectly nice, like, awesome dude, but he was insane and he was taking medication. Well, when he wasn't taking his medication, he killed like all his girlfriends.
Yikes.
And they were like talking to him as separate heads. He thought his dogs and cats could talk to you. And the way they start the film is they make you think, oh yeah, they really can. He just can talk to animals. And then it goes from being like a really nice film to a disaster just so quickly. Because he kills a deer. And this first time he kills a deer, and then he hits it with his car and it doesn't die.
It's like some weird combo between the Machinist and Nightcrawler.
Yeah. So but they don't have the deer talking. So when he walks up, you're like, oh, that deer must be in pain, because Ryan Reynolds was like, he's in pain. Well, he kills the deer, and then he just somehow kills his girlfriend. She actually dies, so he chops her up. It's crazy.
Yikes.
It's a fantastic film, but he does the voice for the dog and the cat, which the cat has a Scottish voice. It's perfect. God. It's a great movie. We're gonna sit down. We'll have to sit down and watch it. But,
okay. Speaking of him, I sometimes have trouble. I will think of getting him. I'll get him and Ryan Gosling mixed up. I'll think of their movies and get them mixed up. I'll think of a Ryan Reynolds movie, and Drive will come to mind.
I've done that before though.
I think Drive and
The Notebook. I've done that one a couple times.
I think it hasn't really happened with Blade Runner 2049. That one's definitely a Ryan Gosling movie for me.
Yeah.
Which grats to that guy going from like The Notebook to Blade Runner.
Yeah, but Notebook was really good.
Like
I love The Notebook.
Isn't The Notebook the one that like horrendously shows Alzheimer's like incorrectly?
Yes.
Like horrifically so?
Kinda, yeah. Yeah. But that film was good. I liked it because it's like an interesting love story that definitely, you're right. Definitely when I first watched it, I didn't know anything about Alzheimer's.
Wow, yeah?
Oh, Jesus.
Apparently you still don't.
I'm gonna go
Let's just move on.
Yeah, okay. Alzheimer's.
I don't think you still didn't say it right. Alzheimer's.
Why can't I say it right?
Alzheimer's.
I'm done. I give up. All right.
Wonder Woman 84.
Alzheimer's.
There you go.
Alzheimer's. That's my brain has always thought there was a T in there. So
nope.
Clearly, I'm a writer. What do I want to talk about now? Because I have Wonder Woman 84. Man, I got Ghostbusters.
Wonder Woman 84. Dude, she sprung from a lightning bolt.
Yeah, I'm really upset about one thing, though. But this is just like a personal... So I finally got my first hot toy, and it's a Wonder Woman. Ooh. And the only complaint that I had about it was that, like, it was like the Zack Snyder versions and stuff. Like, the red was real dark, and the blue was real dark. It looks like in this movie, it's real shiny armor, and everything's light. So I'm really mad that I
You can always repaint it.
I don't want to do that. It's a $300 figure. And they're always usually worth more money.
You sound like a coward to me, but okay.
Yeah.
The music was so dope.
80s music. It's funny, the song that starts in the beginning. So you know how it's 1984?
Yeah.
That song didn't come out until 1989.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That was the first time I heard a song and I actually knew more about, like, you know how you just seem to be a wealth of stupid knowledge.
Yeah,
that was the first time I was like, wow, I'm Matt.
Yeah. My bet is that whatever farm made the trailer,
it's a very 80s song, so it fits. It like nobody really noticed it.
What I thought was interesting in the trailer, and I hope they really do play into it in the movie, is how in the first one she was the fish out of water and he was the one teaching her about the world, and now she's the one teaching him about the world.
But I don't know how. Did you see the first one?
Yeah.
So I don't know how. I really want to know.
Is this guy magic or something?
Well, no. So the villain, he has that stone what appears to like
give people what they want, right?
Yeah. So I think that might be what happened.
So probably the big dilemma at the end will be that to defeat him, she has to let go of
what she wants,
Steve, right?
Yeah, of Steve Rogers.
What?
Not Steve. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his last name. Steve Rogers. Really? I'm pretty sure it's Steve Rogers.
You know what? I'm happy about it though. She and Chris Pine have so much chemistry.
They're
just fun to watch together.
Did you ever watch like interviews with her and him together?
The one where she gives him the eyes?
Yes, I guess, but
yeah.
Yeah.
They just have so much chemistry.
Yeah,
Is his name really Steve Rogers?
Yeah, it's Steve Rogers.
Oh my god.
Oh no, it's Steve Trevor. Steve Trevor.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Boy,
Still.
that would have been
that would have been funny.
But yeah, they do an interview. They do interviews together, and like, she can't speak proper English sometimes. Like sometimes she's
French, right?
Yeah.
No, Israeli.
I don't know. I just know like she has trouble with that stuff at first.
I forget.
Or sometimes messes up her words. And she knows she does it, so she'll like there's moments when like
she's Israeli.
He'll correct her like real quick if she screws up the word, and then she'll it's just a really like cute little thing between them.
Yeah, they just have kind of like it's great.
Yeah. But it does look really cool. I'm very curious about Chitara or Cheat how do you I think it's Chitara is how you say that too. Man, I am
Kristen Wiig's character.
Yeah, I'm really bad with DC characters right now. I don't know why Chitara doesn't sound right to me.
If she's even
Chitara no.
It doesn't even have any like
that's a Thundercats character.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking of. Do you mean Hippolyta?
Yeah, but so
Hippolyta?
She's supposed to become the like.
Or you mean Kristen Wiig?
Oh, it's just Cheetah. Wonder Woman's Cheetah. I'm not myself anymore. What happened to me?
I don't know.
But anyway, I know the backstory of this character at least. This character, she tries to. Well, it depends on what comic you read, but basically, she's an archaeologist / like, she's an adventurer that gets cursed and like becomes a cheetah, like a half cheetah, half woman. So like a furry.
Okay.
That's I mean, that's what it is. Like here, I'm pretty sure I can find a picture of what she looked like back when. Right there is just.
Yikes!
Her
that's pretty
as a
spooky.
full cheetah woman. But, as the world works, they over-sexualize her. See, look how shiny that is. That's so much shinier. And I don't know if it's just the whip.
How are they going to make that scene, whatever scene that is, different from the Nightcrawler scene at the beginning of X2?
They probably won't. They're probably going to hope to God no one saw X2.
What the hell is that?
That would have been probably what she would look like. This is what this is that's fan art.
Yeah,
get
that away from me.
That's what she would probably look like.
But also put it in the Google Drive so I can put it in the show notes.
Okay.
But that's the other thing too, though. You mentioned Steve Rogers it'll be interesting to see how they
Steve and Trevor.
But no, that's what I mean is how they make that different than Captain America coming back from the 30s.
They probably won't.
And it'll just be the similar thing. That's the thing is there's a lot of parallels there. Let's move on before we hurt ourselves.
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh yeah.
Time to learn something about me that you're not going to like to hear.
Okay.
I know jack crap about Ghostbusters.
Yeah, you should watch the first movie.
The only one I've really ever watched would have been the first one. I don't remember it. And then the
second one's worthless.
The only one I've ever watched really like that I still can remember anything of was the newer one.
I'm so
the
sorry.
remake.
I'm so
but
sorry.
I do remember a little bit of the original one. I just haven't sat down.
I think this movie seems like it's going to ignore that new one.
I agree.
And I think it's cool. I think it's cool kind of passing the torch on to some kids. Like all the original Ghostbusters except for the one that died. Was that Aykroyd? Dan Aykroyd?
Dan Aykroyd's still alive.
Which one died then?
Dan Aykroyd, I know he's still alive because he's selling vodka, like Crystal Skull vodka. Because he's
who is it?
A freaking weirdo.
Was it Harold Ramis?
It would have been the guy who was the nerdy, who wore the glasses, the nerdiest guy. That was on the team.
That would have been
because there's Bill Murray, there's Dan Aykroyd's character, there's the other guy.
Was it?
Wears the glasses?
It was.
Was it?
Harold Ramis. Yeah, he played Spengler.
Yeah.
Dr. Egon.
Also, how come there's not a lot of people? Because there's 4 members of them, right? Isn't there originally 4 members? The one other guy, what's his name?
Winston?
Yeah. What? How come no one ever really talks about him?
I mean, he didn't show up toward the end of the movie.
Oh, really?
He didn't become a Ghostbuster till I think right at the end of the second act.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like there's only 3 of them for the longest time.
So what do you gather being a fan or knowing more about it?
Just knowing more about it. It looks good. It looks like someone saw Stranger Things and then said, "Hey, let's make a Ghostbusters movie."
That's why I feel like Finn Wolfhard's in this.
It's and he's gonna have to work a while to get away from that.
I feel like
I hope, yeah, and
he is trying though. I give him a lot of credit because seeing him in It, Chapter 1, and I think he was in Chapter 2.
I didn't see Chapter 2 yet.
Chapter 1,
all the kids are
Chapter
credited
2.
In Chapter 2 though,
so you don't really have to see Chapter 2, but because I think Chapter 1 was a really good movie.
It was.
Chapter 2
was
is
really
not that good, but in Chapter 1 he was funny.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was until everyone told me like that's the kid from Stranger Things.
Yeah. I
also know him because he looks exactly like a childhood version of Danny.
I'll be excited to see what how Paul Rudd plays against some of the older, like Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray, if they ever meet in the movie, which they probably do. I don't think they really show any of them in the trailer. It's mostly just the kids, and they find the ghost catcher thing. They find.
But who was his they say in the trailer about someone's grandfather? Who's
I don't know if they mention his last name. I don't know if they mentioned which one.
Because at one point they show a suit, I thought, and that's.
I don't think they showed the name on it.
They don't?
No. I mean, given that what the kids, they're white, right?
Wait, what?
Are the kids white in the trailer?
Yeah, I think so.
That would mean they're either Venkman or Stance's kids.
Well, I think the one girl. No.
Or are they all the kids of?
Yeah, there's this girl. She
might be Winston's daughter.
But they do say it's Finn Wolfhard's. Like, it's his farm. It's his parents' farm.
Or maybe it is Harold Ramis's character and his dad is dead. Is how they might play it.
I don't know. It does look really good though. I kind of want to see it.
Who's that? That wasn't any of them, was it?
No, that wasn't. But
yeah, they don't show any of them.
I think he is right there. I'm going to go ahead and state cuz that's Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
I bet that's his dad.
Okay, that would make
that's
sense.
probably his grandfather. If it's not, the fact that he calls the thing the Echo 1, I think is what the
Ecto 1.
Ecto 1?
Yeah, it's the car.
Because he calls Ecto 1 like come on old girl or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like something a Bill Murray character would do.
I forget who drives it in the movie.
Let's look.
We need to watch Ghostbusters. It's a good movie.
I still think we should do like a stream or a recording of us watching all the Star Wars films.
Yeah, that's something we could plan on. We are running close to time though, I think.
Well, I mean that's all I had to talk about.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll be coming back on more often now. No more 6-month hiatuses.
We will.
Don't cross the streams.
Don't cross the streams.
That's from that movie.
From Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
That's all we have for the day.
Yeah.
It's getting long.
So we'll be back to you guys with more content. We're hoping to do more stuff on YouTube as well, more visual medium type things.
More video format of this.
Yeah,
of this show.
That might be coming. That would be pretty
one
dope.
idea. Maybe you'll see how funny we are because we'll have more skits, live skits. Maybe.
Yeah. Here's hoping.
Let's just see how well this goes.
Yeah, but yeah, if
there are people that find this that listened to this a long time ago and like, wow, they're back. Hi, and thanks for being that dedicated to a bunch of losers in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and if you like this, be sure to give us a
comment,
rating,
subscribe,
all that stuff. If you're
can you
on
do
YouTube,
that? Can you do that on
It uploads to YouTube.
Does it?
So they can do that.
Wait, really?
Ooh. And if you're on iTunes, be sure to give us a review. Give us 5 stars. Those really help us out.
Or a 4 stars.
No, 5 stars.
All right,
and
5.
recommend us to your friends. We're good.
Don't even have to recommend us. Just hold your friends down and put this in their ears.
Exactly.
And make them listen.
Honestly, as long as you just give us downloads.
Tie them to a chair. Just
Clockwork Orange. Tie their ears open.
Yeah. Wow. Are your ears constantly open?
Some people could probably close them. Like a hatch. Like they take their earlobe down.
This gummy bear was bad.
Oh,
this one didn't taste good.
Well, on that horrible disappointment.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Matt.
And this is Pop Culture Unboxed.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
Yeah? It was so loud.